Well, the time has come to do another talking video with hands and a voice and all of that. So I've had a request to go through some of my planners and describe my own planning system and how I integrate that with junk journaling and the crafts, the paper crafts that we do. So I thought I would try to walk you through that today. I have lived and died by my planner for many, many years, raised 4 children, and sports, music, theater, doctor's appointments, eye checkups, orthodontists. You can't do it without lists and planners and such, and this has been my planner for many, many, oh God, decades. Am I that old? It's a day runner. It was an upholstery covered planner and with great leather stitching. It's held together wonderful over the years, and just last year I recovered it with it and quilted a bit with some Tim Holtz fabric, and I still use this for my primary address book and such, and I've branched out into other planners for my other needs these days, but just very simple 3-ring binder, and I keep my addresses and Christmas lists and such, and my household inventory lists. I have used this graphic 45 paper to do flip outs with pockets and things, so for my old school and nostalgic purposes, I still use my old day runner, and it has proven very reliable, and I love it. So that's my older planner. My black planner is the one that I use as my wallet, and I love this. All of my personal planners are the Recollection Creative Years personal size. Filofax has them in the same approximate size. They're interchangeable with Day Runner. I believe it's the A3 size. I can check and put that in the details below the video. If you do want to do regular planning, scheduling, mapping out your time, your weeks, your months, there are all kinds of inserts you can buy and calendars to go inside of these, both Recollection brand and several others. But I live on top of a mountain now, and most of the time I don't know what day of the week it is. Sometimes I don't even know the month. I know when it's Sunday because that's the day that Etsy doesn't ship and the postman doesn't come. But other than that, I don't need to plan in the traditional way. There's new things though that I need to keep track of, and that's what I use my planners for. They're more organizers, and I've found that I almost need more of them now than I did when I was a city girl participating in the day-to-day rat race. Anyways, this is the black one that I use as my wallet, and yeah, it's usually quite messy after shopping. I use the Tattered Time paper to do my dashboard here, and pockets. I do a lot of my embellishments with paper clips and pennies, and you can use the E6000 epoxy glue to put on any metal charm or embellishment, and I've never had a problem with it permanently holding, so I use those throughout. I keep track of when the full moons are. I have various lists that I put in here. I just created tabs for the different sections, and so yeah, I use this for my wallet. I keep my driver's license in it. When I go out, it goes with me, and so that's my first planner. My next one I use, I can't help myself, I end up putting dangles on all of them, even if they're impractical. the neat thing about it with the planners is they are binders. So if you want to take them off, you can simply open up your rings and slip it off, and it goes easily in a bag then without getting caught on anything. This is my grimoire, my healing journal. Anybody who has read some of my articles or seen some of my earlier junk journals knows that we grow a lot of our own herbs and medicines here, and I have concoctions and recipes for a lot of things that I grow. I keep my essential oil recipes in here, and various things, remedies that we've used for different things that have come up. And I love having this to put my favorite herbal shops online, records of anything that I want to write down. And again, with the embellishments, these are all pennies that have had just a circle punch where I've printed and then used a little of, what did I use on these? I think I used the dimensional Mod Podge to get a nice thin textured bulb over it to seal it in, but just paper clips and pennies. So this is my healing notebook, journal, planner. I guess technically they're all planners. This I don't use so much anymore. When I started paper crafting in earnest, I was almost exclusively using graphic 45 papers. They all have a very slightly different color blue and different oranges, and I've found that things I was buying as embellishments, ribbons, things, that they match different to each paper collection a little bit differently. So what I did was I made a page, sort of a junk journal-y page. There's a lot of pockets and fun stuff here for each of the different collections that I was working with. And I could then take it to the store and match it to whatever I was looking for, the trims, this and that. And I've written down some of my most creative ideas from Pinterest here. Had some fun with it. Directions of things, little experiments, but again, always matching the colors with the various paper collections I was working with. So this has been a fun one, and I revisit it from time to time for ideas, for notes that I've taken. So that is my color coding shopping one. Let's see, the gold planner is my project planner. I have a lot of projects on my homestead, more in the works than completed sometimes, it seems. So I use this planner to keep track of everything I have going on. A lot of it does seem seasonal. I don't do any crocheting or quilting unless it's winter, because there's too many things going on outside. And I just keep up with my various projects here throughout. We also have a tiny home outside as a guest home, so I'm refinishing that, working on it, taking notes in here, and I can use this to keep organized with that. So that is the overview of my primary planner system. What I've done is I've tried to bridge the planner and the junk journal ideas together, and I have put together a new planner that I'm going to offer in my Etsy shop. I guess it's a confession. I've bought a lot of planners that I'll never use. I mean, a lot of them. I had great coupons last year. So I thought maybe I should start taking them and junking them, making them into junk journals with pockets and things, not with a purpose. Obviously, the person who owns it needs to tailor it to their own needs, whatever that may be. But I have so many pretty planners. My idea, and it worked, was to sew canvas with a print on it and embellish it with pockets. And I've done that on my first junk planner. I don't know if I'll call it that, but it has a tag. Little inserts. I've stamped these tea-dyed pages, just like in our junk journals. I guess it really is a junk journal. I just didn't make the cover, hardcover or soft cover. I'm using the planner as the cover. It has a tassel, the locket that opens here. And what I've done on the inside is I left that in for support. I have put some postcards and some graphic 45 cards to fill up these, where you could put just about anything that will fit. And there's a tea-dyed book with some stamping in it. There we go. And there's pockets. I did some sewing with the pockets. The paper is Graphic 45 Botanica Bella, which is my favorite paper that they've put out. It's full of tea-dyed pages, many of them blank, dividers with lace and such. I have one of these wonderful paper bags that I sized down to use as an envelope from my goodie box from Joni Southworth. Thank you very much. And has inserts, stamping, tea-dyed. And because this is a sunflower theme, I have printed quite a few pages with sunflower quotes, some music paper cut to size. The size of these is standard 4 by 6 3/4. So divider, a little bit of Tim Holtz cardstock in there for dividers. And my regular Mrs. Cog quotes that are laser printed onto the tea-dyed paper before I tea-dye it and cut to size. As well as some digis of sunflowers. These are in here in no particular order. Again, I assume that the person who receives it would tailor it to however they want to use it and put it in the order that they want, that they find helps them to be the most organized. So, and an envelope. More quotes, more dividers. I think there's 65 pages, so double that front and back. And more lace trim. Here's a tuck spot. More quotes throughout. And in the back, more blank sheets. I put several cardstock pieces thick enough to use as a template, so that if you want to do what I did in the beginning, which was to match the holes to line up and punch, so that you can put whatever papers or anything you'd like to adapt to go in here, that you have a guide to do that with. And then in the back there is this little notebook with tea-dyed ledger paper and regular printer paper. So Well, my video cut off. I'm still on a learning curve with making flip videos, and I think I'm going to have to get an egg timer. Make sure I don't go over the allotted time here. I appreciate you bearing with me. I will look to get some tutorials up soon, and I will post this banana planner, banana sunflower planner, banana colored sunflower themed junk journal planner organizer. I don't know what I'll call it in my Etsy at some point today. And if there's an interest in it, I would be glad to make more. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. Bye.